Hey friends, Jeremy Tank here. I am a branding designer and a brand artist. I am also the owner of Think Tank Creative. I want to talk to you a little bit about branding today and about your brand and how you feel about it, because there's some things that I understand after doing this for a little over 20 years and a couple of different degrees here now that I've earned doing this, and the different marketing companies and advertising agencies I've worked with. There's some things that I understand that I think might be more beneficial shared with you. And you know, I help a lot of people in the health and the wellness industry, and it sort of changed the way I thought about something recently, and it's this. When I was talking with my wife, who is a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, we were talking about how the body adjusts and gets used to certain exercises. And that's the reason that sometimes you have to push harder and change things up. You know, look at P90X and doing all the different exercises, and then every certain period of time you change it up and you do something really different, and then you're sore again, right? Like you hurt a lot. When you do these things you haven't done in a while, it hurts. But after you do them a while, your body adjusts and just goes with it. Well, the brain actually functions in a similar fashion. And when you start telling people the same message and the same information day after day, they start to ignore you. And when they start to ignore you, you might see like sales go down. Or if you just forget, honestly, that happens. Like you get so busy in business, you get so busy with everything you're doing, and sales goes down. The first thing you should do is whatever was getting you sales in the first place, right? If you have a list of people and you just have neglected because you're too busy, that's the worst excuse ever, right? The worst excuse ever. I'm too busy. You're never too busy to do the things that are important. You just need to prioritize them. If you connect with those people again, it shifts the paradigm, and it'll probably get you some more customers coming in, because they've gotten used to not hearing from you. And then when they hear from you, they're like, aha, yes. Now, counter to that, what I've seen in the internet recently is everybody signs up with mailing list this and mailing list that, promising freebies and all that, until I honestly can't see into my inbox anymore. And it's too much communication to the point that I tune them all out. Now, this is just me, and I don't know if you do the same thing or if you've set up rules to funnel certain emails a certain direction. I know people who actually set up whole different mailboxes so that receives certain emails so they can get the freebies online. This is a broken system. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. This is a broken system. This is not the way to foster customer relationships. This is not the way to build those sort of relationships. That does not build trust. What that does is clogs up email systems. And I think that people ignore that stuff right now, and they find ways to game the system. The more that you ask for freebies and sign up for newsletters and promises of this and that and show videos online, it's just clogging up the system. And people are starting to ignore it. I'm starting to ignore it, or people have workarounds. And when they start to find workarounds for stuff like that, you think it's working. And from the marketing standpoint, you get the email address, they're part of a list, you send them messages, they receive messages, maybe they check it every now and again, and you think, oh, well, it's long game. This is not fostering the types of relationships and the types of experiences that build trust and build brands. What it does is simply clog people down with more crap. I don't advocate for that. What does get attention is standing out from the crowd. What does get attention is doing the opposite of some of that. The opposite of some of that right now looks like making content on YouTube or on Facebook Live or on LinkedIn Live or all of these places where you share things with people that they might find valuable. And if they do, perhaps they sign up or with you on there, contact you for business, and you can foster the relationship from there. Now, I don't know how long that's actually going to take to turn around, because there's a lot of list building going on right now. And it seems that if you have your list, then that's the most super powerful thing ever. But again, that list is used to retarget, and it's all these marketing tactics. And I'm not a marketer, so marketing tactics to me sound fishy. I'm not a good salesperson. Marketing tactics to me sound fishy. Online seminars sound fishy. Giving my email address away to anybody for these freebies that frankly are not worth it sounds fishy. Because what does somebody have to do to offer something for free to you? They cut out dang near all of the value. They promise the value, but the stuff that they actually have to share or the problems that they solve for you are not in that value. So they are just trying to tease you into the next leg. Now, as a branding person, that hurts me to the core. As a branding person, I'm looking at all of this and going, look, I want to build an honest relationship with my customers. I want to build something that is meaningful with them, that they actually truly value. The biggest value I can give you right now, understanding how the human brain works and how the body works and how, neurons, the way that they process and look for something different, and they factor all this stuff in. Let me just tell you, branding is like efficiency candy for the brain. Branding sets you apart from other people. Branding is sort of like the differentiation between you and your competitor. Whatever is different upon you. Maybe it's the colors, maybe it's the typefaces, maybe it's the messaging, maybe it's the core service and how you do it and why you do it and all that really cool stuff. This stuff I'm passionate about. But the thing is that branding totally works for the efficiency factors in the brain, because good branding makes you the only one that occupies a certain space in your audience's brain. So for example, I was driving down the street the other day and I saw a UPS truck. And immediately I said, branding, big brown truck, logo on the side. I didn't even need to see the logo, right? The big brown truck, totally get it. I know exactly who that is. And then I think, do I have a package? Do I need to ship a package? They get them there fast. They do good service. Literally, the ideas, I have to slow down to think about them, because in my brain, it goes through this cascade of everything that is associated with that particular brand. And in this case, it was very much service-oriented, delivery-oriented, package-oriented, shipping-oriented, but that brown color in that truck alone was the shortcut, the efficiency that my brain craves. Instead of having to think about all of those things independently, instead of having to tie it together and find the solution, when I saw that, it actually plays off of the efficiency of the brain and sort of the laziness, right? The brain doesn't want to burn calories. The brain wants to work as little as possible. The more you burn calories, like the brain burns a lot of calories when it's processing, and the more calories you burn, the more exhausted you feel, the more tired you feel. When we're doing branding, we're not just making something that's pretty. We're not just making something to throw up on the side of business cards or a building. We're actually helping customers not work as hard. We're giving them clues that tell them this is what we're all about. Here's the list of attributes. We're awesome, right? And at the same time, we understand that their body, their brain, everything they're doing is searching for this efficiency. That's the reason that workouts aren't as effective over time. The body becomes more efficient in those particular movements. The brain becomes more efficient thinking down particular cycles. That's the reason my processes that are slightly different, design sprint style processes for brand positioning and customer creation, avatars, tactical planning. That's the reason it's so different, is because I break outside of the normal way of doing things to present different. And different is harder. It makes you think a little bit more. It makes you think creatively. And when you think creatively, you all of a sudden build connections across different neurons. And there's my timer. And you're branding. When you do this, you're not building connections across the neurons. That's the best part. See, this is any other time I would tell you, build the connections, build the corpus callosum in the brain, build that brain power up, extend what you're doing, absolutely. But in this case, I'm telling you, branding helps you because your audience doesn't have to think. They're barely thinking about you anyway. They are thinking about themselves and their own life and how to solve their problems, and that's awesome. Because when we do things with branding, you can save them time. And all of those thoughts all tie together still with you. All right, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.